Hey, everybody. Just waiting to see, give it a couple minutes for some to come in. I'm going to talk a little bit about what's going on in Delphi and whatnot. I should have scheduled this earlier, but did it 10 minutes ago, which is my fault. Hey there, Cindy. How are you? How's everybody doing? Trying to fix this camera. Hope everybody's doing well. I have a couple of Red Talks I got to also get done, and hopefully I'll get one done tomorrow. Just been very busy with the kids. Yeah, and I know people will pop on. I should have scheduled earlier. It's always my mistake. Sleuty, what are you doing, man? You want to pop on? I got some time to kill if you're around. Cindy, yeah, that California serial killer is it's very crazy what's going on there. Really is. It's a little weird how law enforcement described it, which could mean there could be multiple killers. It's just unknown, but that could be possible. That could definitely be possible. Hey, Never Silent, Jill, Sweet Jules. Hope everybody's well. I know I haven't been on in a while. I've been busy. I'm coaching 2 soccer teams as usual. So I'm busy with the kids, which is always a good thing. It's making memories, you know. Heading to the, okay. Oh, no problem. All good. All good. Don't worry about it. Going to hit some golf balls, huh? Very nice. So let's talk what's been going on with Delphi. I know a couple weeks ago we had the rumor of the arrest on TK. You know, there were 20 cars that were involved with the funeral, and it just kind of progressed into chaos. And listen, I'm not here to tell anybody what to say on their own channels or whatnot. Everybody could do whatever they want. I wanted to confirm info first before going out and saying anything because, you know, the families they're taking it hard. You know, with the search in the river, you had Becky Patty went there and even looked for herself. I mean, everybody's got to think before you do things, but it's not for me to say. Anybody could do whatever they want with their channel. I was emailed by many, and I just said, let's give it time and let's see. And especially after I knew that 20 vehicles were being used for a funeral, it must have been a very large funeral, but that kind of hinted to where it was going. So I really wasn't too big on that. You know, do I believe that that day is going to come? I do believe it's going to come, just not yet. Oh, Mrs. Thang, it'll be on the channel. It's not going anywhere. Once it's done, it'll post on the channel. Just trying to see if I missed anything for today to go over before jumping in. Yeah, it was a trust and justice. Yeah, I know it was a large funeral. I mean, listen, I used to do funerals all the time on the motorcycle, rain, sleet, snow, 110 degrees, it didn't matter. We rode. And when you have a large funeral, you get other jurisdictions to help. You're shutting down highways, whatever. It gets crazy. It does get crazy. So I understand it. Let's see. One second. Don't be mad at me that I'm not totally prepared because 10 minutes ago, I'm like, you know what? I have an hour and I'm getting emailed like crazy that I need to do a live. So don't be upset. We're here. We'll get things rolling. You know, let's talk about Ron Logan. I know you guys, a lot of you listen to the Red Talk. Let's all talk about how, you know, Ron Logan, 99.9% sure. I am sure that he is not BG. That's, I mean, if you didn't listen to the Red Talk, please do. I went through it line by line. It seemed the FBI was very hard onto Ron, and that's because they probably interviewed his alibi, and the guy crumbled like a cookie. So that's normal. That's going to happen. You know, when you have an alibi who crumbles, that's going to show guilt, and that's going to roll into let's look at this guy more. and that's the way they went. And I also think that LE followed, but then the local LE followed, but then they backpedaled, and that's most likely why the 2019 presser came. Then we had Keegan getting arrested, and it all just has blossomed from there. But it was on Sleuth Live in December. My first time ever calling into anybody. Me and Sleuth emailed for about, I don't know, probably a month or so before that. And once Keegan's name was announced and I looked into Daddy, and then right after that, getting his rap sheet within the week, it just showed, man, he's the violence in that house. I don't care what anybody wants to say about Keegan. Keegan's a dirtbag, but he was very happy living in his four walls with his door in his room, hiding and living his creep life. A double murder just really, he just doesn't fit the solo suspect of a double murderer. He just doesn't, and that's just how I feel. That's just my experience as being a cop. It just, the violence was elsewhere in that house. Is there learned violence towards him? Yeah, Keegan learned violence, but he was also very scared of Daddy, Let's see. Reading the chat here, one sec. Jill, how are you? I hope you're doing well. The Rockaways. Who else is here? Never being prepared is for the week. Well, I like being prepared, but I just wasn't today. I had time and I wanted to get on and see everybody, see how everybody's doing. Let's see. So what else does anybody want to talk about? Anybody have any questions? I get a lot of emails all the time with questions and I answer them there. Let me actually look at something. I get emails. I get really some pretty cool emails. I got somebody who sent me some just some work that they did, and it was actually pretty impressive at just the note taking that they put together and whatnot. Let me see. Which is awesome. I'm all for anybody diving in and doing their sleuthing. That's what it's all about, It's about being a community, and again, I'm not here to tell people what they should and shouldn't do. I know there was the guy, The Unsolved, who put out some info he was given by somebody who spent time with Keegan in jail. They were jailmates. They were cellmates, and I just don't. And it's nothing against the Unsolved guy. I mean, listen, he's going to take the info that he's getting, and he's going to do whatever he wants with it. I just feel it's kind of weird how it was the same week that just other info came out about the car, about the Jeep, the red Jeep, and whatnot. So just charismatically clever. Hello, how are you? Yes, I'm doing it live today. That's Miss Snang. Yeah, good that you bring that up. That's just what I was talking about. There's nothing there that listen. Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess I get it that he was drawing pictures of Keegan, but I mean, Keegan, did he really like the picture of him with this big ass gut sticking out? I mean, I don't know. And then what kind of got me was the report that was written up about the bracelet possibly being stolen. Keegan's prison bracelet possibly being stolen. So I mean, it's just many things there. And listen, the guy's a criminal. He's in jail. He has a rap sheet. So the guy Unsolved did his due diligence, and he put the info out for people to take it and do what they want with it, and that's fine. That's totally fine. I just personally don't believe at all. I just don't think Keegan is that stupid to have a cellmate and tell what he did on February 13th. So doesn't matter how close he is. I mean, he knows that they want him hard, LE, and they could put somebody in his cell that's an undercover cop. You just never know. That does happen. Oh, I saw that. I saw the Jeep conference at the Air Force Base that had a red Jeep on it. That was pretty interesting, pretty funny, pretty funny, and very coincidental. You know, I don't know. I just I go back to the Friday after the murders and Brad Heath. Did he wait a few extra days with something that he saw? Possibly, and that's why Ellie rushed in there that Friday looking for some things. What did he see? Did he see somebody walking? But did he see somebody walking that didn't fit the exact clothing that BG was wearing? And that's why he held up and didn't say anything. There's many things that are possible. Yeah, never sounds very true. Don't believe what you hear, and only half of what you see makes sense now as an adult. It's true. I mean, listen, there's nothing wrong with the guy putting the info out there for everybody to take it and do what they want with it, however they feel with it. I just feel it's coincidental that he came out with the whole, oh yeah, Keegan told me he was in the Jeep when you had Murder Sheet putting that out, 2 weeks ago. I mean, not that listen, it's not anything to do with TK and Keegan are not breaking news to me personally, because that's what I felt since December. It's just what it is, what fits, the guy who's violent in the household fits. Then you have what comes out with the affidavits, and you see that there was the fight in the household that morning over signing in, signing out, signing in, signing out, 2 different devices. Anybody could spin, oh yeah, Keegan was signing in and out of it. I don't believe it. That they were fighting for the power, the control of the conversation with Libby. That's what fits. It's just you got to go with what fits. What does everybody else feel? What did you guys feel about the info? That's just, I take it for what it's worth, when I see something like that, and it's just what doesn't fit, and to use the whole Jeep. Oh, Keegan said, my opinion is the way that it's said to have gone down. I highly doubt that TK would let Keegan sit in the Jeep while that occurred, but then walk out to the Jeep to tell him to come on, let's go. And that's where he would assist in anything. That just doesn't fit. You're committing a double murder. You're not going to leave the crime scene, okay, to go out to get, Mr. Four Walls and say, hey, you got to come with me and help me now. That just doesn't make sense. So I don't really believe, and it's not against Murder Sheet either. I just don't believe, if that's the story Keegan's telling, fine. I just don't believe it. I believe Keegan was there on the trail and assisted in some way. He didn't have to be the murderer, but he assisted in some way. Well, Julia, it's not even about the Jeep. Who cares what vehicle it exactly was? But I just highly doubt that Keegan was sitting by in the Jeep and then his father came all the way out to bring him back in to help him assist with staging and whatever. It just doesn't fit. It doesn't really make sense. Rockways, I don't. Maybe the reason walkie talkies, but I just don't see them having that far of distance between them. Where, what's the reason that he would have Keegan sit in the vehicle and not his system? It just doesn't make sense. Plus, it actually, as I've said from the beginning, it's very hard for one person to take control of 2 people. Doesn't matter what age those 2 people are, because your first instinct is to run. That's just the way it is. You're approached by somebody, you're going to, even kids, you're going to think about splitting, running somewhere, to take control of two people, 2 girls, 2 boys, whatever, is not that easy. That's why I said if it was a single person, they had to have gained control by, handcuffing, which I highly doubt was used. I feel more or less it was, zip ties or duct tape. That's just, something easy, something everybody has in their garage. I mean, who doesn't have duct tape in their garage? Hey, Zuder, how are you? The Rockaways, I even believe there could be one more person or maybe a couple more people. I've said it's 2 to 5 people, 2 to 5. But could it be just the two of them? Yeah, it's possible. It is definitely possible. Anna says KK is emotionally removed from the murder. Is that? Oh, it does pop up. Cool. I never used that before. See, I'm learning new things today. KK is emotionally removed from the murder. I think he's making up stuff for his own purposes. Yeah, but he doesn't even have to. I mean, to be emotionally invested, it's he's pushed it off as he had nothing to do with it. When he was interviewed, he didn't even know who she was, or no, she annoyed me, so I blocked her. It was always distancing from the beginning. That's normal. I've interviewed, interrogated many people who always try to do the push off, and then once you show them something, then the story changes and the backpedaling starts. Yeah, bossy, absolutely. He's not going to chance being spotted not once but twice covered in blood. It just doesn't fit. To leave the crime scene, now you're making more tracks with your feet, leaving the scene, going back. Now you're coming back with your son who's out of shape and a mess, and probably complaining the whole. It just doesn't fit. It really doesn't. They're both a CKK as BG with TK waiting to entrap them. Yeah, I mean, I've said it for months since December. I think it was the weekend that Anthony Shots and Keegan's name were out. That you know, don't look past Daddy too quick, because telling you just back then his Facebook, he was following so many young girls. That's who he was. That's majority of the Facebook following he was doing. Then I saw his rap sheet and I'm like, wow, look at this guy. This Anthony Shots thing. If you looked at Keegan, you're like, well, he could. Anybody can hit that switch and commit murder, but he doesn't fit the bill. He doesn't solely fit the bill. You know, he was very happy living his creepy ass life. Making up stories, contacting young girls. Doing his thing to get his videos, his pictures, whatever he could, and that's what got him off. Yes, there's a ladder of crime that you climb a ladder when you're a career criminal, and the end is always going to be murder. But Keegan wasn't climbing the ladder. He was staying the same. He was just like a pulse. He was just staying in his lane of being an absolute creep. And I'm not saying what he didn't, what he did was good, was disgusting human being, but he wasn't, he wasn't showing signs of the elevation of crime to go further. Thing about looking at Marathon gas station, wouldn't he put another location in GPS to get close to the bridge? Yeah, it's highly possible. Highly possible. Or it could have just been said, hey, let's meet at a gas station that's, somewhat close by. That could be possible. I did a short video on it about the location to it, and I think I forget what it was, like about 4 miles away or 3.8 miles away from the bridge driving. Somebody's like, oh, you could walk straight. Yeah, you're going to walk through people's property. You're going to get shot at. Let's see. Oh, he's a career liar. That's all he does. He lied to his entire life is a lie. Even though my son lives in Vegas, he lived in 4 walls in Indiana. He was hiding, and he was most likely hiding because the thought of the Indiana State Police coming for him on the stuff that was on his phones was always there. So putting online, oh, my son's in Vegas, this and that, they were trying to keep distance from law enforcement. Shay, I hear you, but like I said, even after the Anthony Shots stuff has come out, they probably have their guys, and they just are they're just waiting for whatever it is to put the nail in the coffin and the collars to come and clank clank. That's just how I feel. that it's very close. It just hasn't happened yet. And that's possible. There's many a times that they has been said, or the group, or I mean, listen. Remember when Keegan was interrogated. That they said many times to him, "We don't believe you're the killer. We don't believe you killed the girls." You don't tell that to somebody who you believe did it. There's reasons why you say things in an interrogation, and it's not just you're saying that to calm them down. If he did it and you're saying that, you're losing credibility in his eyes. So there's ways of interrogating, there's ways of doing things, and it wouldn't be that way. You wouldn't say it just to say it. So Bossy, are you saying JK as TK, just using his real name? That's fine. Throw off crime scene. So, Gina, but is he really, or is that just the rumor going around? I don't know. I mean, the credibility of the guy in the cell, and it's nothing against the guy unsolved. He's doing his reporting. He's interviewed the guy, did his due diligence. It's just, do you believe? I've been told crazy things by people in our cells, some crazy things. And sometimes the info is fact. Other times they're just telling you a story just to gain your trust and get a little more out of you. What is your comp brand? Was yeah, is murder. Yeah, double murder. He just fits the bill. It started in his teenage years for TK. He was first looking. He was into just looking. Looking was enough. Then there was the attempt to touch a young female through her window with like a stick. It just, then the beating of the stepson, the beating of the woman, then stalking the woman's daughter with the car, with another guy in the car. It just, he has climbed the ladder. The only thing left to go to is murder. It's things, they want to be satisfied, and the status quo doesn't get them there anymore. They got to go one step further. Hey, Zen Monkey, how are you? The man, the myth, the legend. I wish I was a legend. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Let's see. Trying to catch up on the chat. Yeah, very true. That's why I say 2 to 5. Depends on the roles in the crime. Remember, everybody says, "Oh, why is anybody spending so much time on the Ron Logan affidavit?" Because there's a lot of information in there. There's all facts in there. That's all factual. They felt that, Ron Logan, not a very tech savvy guy, but they were searching his house for possible pictures, video, audio of the crime. So that tells me what was at the crime scene that made them believe that that occurred. Was there a tripod, indentation in the ground that showed them that there was possibly some kind of pictures, video, or something taken? It's possible, very possible. Yeah, that's true, but I don't know the exact guy's rap sheet, but I believe he was in for drugs. Hey, Frank Meister, how are you, man? Rogways, he's been doing it for years. Let's rewind to the female that Murder Sheets interviewed, right? That Keegan set up to meet at the park, right? So Keegan goes there. The girl's supposed to be alone. She brings another friend. Keegan seems a little bit upset, but they all go their own way. Was TK there hiding somewhere? It's possible, very possible. And remember, after the girl left and Keegan left, Anthony Schatz, the account, threatened her about slicing her throat. Now, if you're that upset, if Keegan's that upset, he would say that to her face. But it was said after the fact through a message. To me, that was the other guy, not him. That's what I'm saying. It's just there's so many things that show me that Daddy is the man, and not saying he wasn't there, but Daddy being the man. Yeah, and we know that's a lie, though. We know he's done it before. You know, he how much truth was said in that whole interview? I think the only truth, one of the only truths that Keegan said was that maybe he doesn't like the young CSAM, because he got very upset when they brought that up. So to me, that was really where he became very defensive. So is somebody else, in the house that likes that? It could be possible. Shay, what are they going to tell you? That the one more piece is they need somebody to break an alibi? How good does that sound on the law enforcement to say that? You know what I mean? It's like there's only so much they're going to give, and I know it's frustrating, but it doesn't serve a purpose to give more that makes them look in any bad way, because they are working hard on this case. I truly believe that they want this solved. Bossy, that could be possible. That definitely could be possible. I feel they knew that she was going there, though, with the contact that went on that morning. Oh, he is. Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's been living a lie for probably a decade. I mean, that's just, he's a singer, he's on tour, he's living in Vegas. The guy's been hiding within four walls and just, messaging, hey Sharon, and just messaging people, taking advantage of our children. That's what he was doing. Vanessa, very true. And that other female that was alone, that could have, that you never know where that could have went. Her bringing her friend, and that's probably why that could be. And I'm not saying that for a fact, but that could be why this elevated into a double murder. That there couldn't, they couldn't get a solo female alone, and having a second one there, I feel this was very, very well planned out, very well planned out to the exit. And I've said it, and I know that the guy in the prison said it, but I feel that TK has hunted Ron Logan's land before. I truly feel that. And he fished there. He fished before in Deer Creek. The stepson said it. They used to go there. Even TK's father used to go there with them. He has some kind of attachment with Deer Creek, and I think the attachment is he used to hunt Ron Logan's property with a small group of people that used to hunt there. Jill, it could be possible. I would have felt that more, the more after, before December, before the Anthony shots. But I mean, anything could still be possible. So I mean, that could definitely well be possible. Vanessa, the whole thing is some people are claiming it, but do they have any facts that she's not real? You know, the girl sounded legit telling that story. I mean, I don't know who she is, but definitely sounded real. Angel Bear, very true, very true. You know, listen, did he talk? Did he talk? And is that why the river search happened? And believe me, I said it the first day it happened. I'm like, this could be training. The way they were there, they're shirtless. Their nerps are out. I mean, it was a very weird search the way it started. But once I felt it was 100% really when they put the drone up and they were using the laser equipment in order to map out the whole location. So I mean, yeah, I mean, could he have spoken and they were looking for something? You know, I think they would have been stupid to have thrown the murder weapon there, but I don't think they would be. I don't think it would be stupid to throw some digital storage devices in the river, thinking that the water would destroy it. But we'll see. Think about it. Throwing some kind of electronics in there, you're talking about 5 years heat. freezing winters. It's been in there for a really long time, you know. So we'll see. Even with the factual charge we know are true, how the hell could you look yourself in the mirror after you broke a child's face? Yeah, I mean, I don't think the man has any remorse. You know, I don't think there's any remorse in him. I think you know, he's somebody. I've sat across from people like him. You know, I sat across from a man who murdered his mother and brother, and he was ready to eat his lunch. You know, he's kind of like, I've been here 12 hours. Am I going to eat? You know, this is a guy that butchered his mom and, you know, blew his brother's face off and then stuffed him in a freezer like a pretzel, snapping him in half. I mean, that's how sick this man was, and total psychopath, total psychopath. So there's people that, you know, there's no remorse. You know, just, you know, let's go eat. Yeah, I mean, listen, you're going to want to try and fight to do everything possible to show your same, you know, your same MO, you know, your same daily activities. I don't know if he can ride his motorcycle with the leg problem now, but you want to show that you're still doing what you did prior to being a suspect. You know, you start shutting down and hiding out. You just, you know, he's trying to keep stay face with even his friends. Oh yeah, that there's no remorse. You know, when you have a serious cold blooded killer, it's just, you know, you just see it's just, you know, they don't care. You know, they don't care. They are on to the next. You know, and when they're interviewed by law enforcement, they know they're, you know, they want to basically brag about what they did and how they did it. You know, they just don't feel any remorse. Hold on one second. I gotta let my dog out. She's barking. One sec. Sorry. All right, I'm back. She was barking. She was sleeping, and then she wanted to come out and bother me. So yeah, so we had so going back. Let's just rewind a little bit. So I went through Ron Logan's the full affidavit, and that was more or less to show you that how sometimes judgment can be clouded, and they went full force on the man, and that kind of, you know, that kind of broke off and diverted ISB and the Carroll County Task Force. So that kind of steered them the wrong way, in my opinion, and it got reeled back in. Tom, thanks so much, man. I appreciate that. I believe that know exactly how, when, where, and who done it. They just have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt why it is done, have the concrete evidence needed where the defense attorney has no. Yep, I agree. I mean, listen, it's just, and I appreciate that $10, man. That's awesome. I agree with you, you know, and the whole thing is, where are they going? Keegan's in lockup, you know. You know, Dad had, you know, the whole leg, you know, done and stuff. Where is he going? You know, how far is he going to get if he tries to get away? You know, I'm sure they're watching him from afar daily. I mean, that's just the way it is. Zen, you know it. You know, I went out to Sleuths that night, and you know, a lot of people were against the whole TK thing from the beginning, and I said, man, listen, I would not look past them, and that's just, you know, that's just my experience. You know, being in law enforcement, I don't take that away from anybody, but you know, that didn't feel that way. It's just, this is what I did for my career. You know, and just the opening of his Facebook, seeing that he ended up blocking all that stuff, but I saw it right when Keegan's name was put out. So I saw it, and I'm like, okay. So then I dug a little further, and once I saw the rap sheet, I'm like, wow, this is probably the man. You know, this is probably the man. And what bothers me is that somebody on Reddit, like, you know, a month ago, was like, said something like towards me, like, oh, you should kind of like I should bow down to Murder Sheet for putting out TK's info. And I'm like, dude, where were you in December? Murder Sheet said nothing. I said it, and I'm not trying to blow my horn, but don't try and tell me I got to say thank you to Murder Sheet. I mean, this is just who it fits. It climb the ladder, and that man climbs the criminal ladder. He needs more to get his off. He needs more. If Farrell did murder the girls, the case would be closed. Oh yeah, absolutely, and I'm telling you, it wasn't him. It wasn't him. But listen, him passing away gave us all the info of that affidavit, and people were like, "Oh, he's dead. Why read it? Why read it?" It's very Tom. Thanks again, man. I appreciate that. At this point, they probably magnify GPS trackers and everything their guy owns. Oh yeah, I mean, listen, I'll tell you some crazy stories. I actually I went to New Jersey State Police. I think it was like 5 days. We had to stay at the New Jersey State Police barracks. I got certified to install audio bugs in homes and vehicles, hardwired to the battery in the car, and also GPS battery based, which you slap on underneath the car. But every like third week, the battery dies, and you got to go back under and change the batteries out. Or if you get a hold of the car, you hardwire it to the battery, never have to worry about it. So I got certified at that. And let me tell you something, at 4 a.m., when you got to go underneath the car in a neighborhood that is quiet and take this, back then, they were pretty big back in, when I think I got certified in like maybe 06, 07. And when you went close to the body of the car, the magnet that it would suck into the vehicle, and the clank, you would start shaking underneath the car, because it was a lot. It was horrifying noise. I mean, yeah, you got people watching your back, but you can't see anything. You're in somebody's driveway, you're underneath the car, and this big clank happens. And, maybe a light will come on a couple houses down, and then you got to get the hell out of there. It's not a fun thing. It's really not a fun thing to do. Oh, thank you so much, Overcomer. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you. Glad you guys appreciate me coming on live and giving some TK stuff. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, it's just anybody that's done this, in any law enforcement profiling, the man checks off the boxes. He checks off the boxes. And one of the things that I told John Kelly, that, I mean, I'm not a profiler. The whole what was it, like he said, like he's a visual guy, like even with his job, like working, with his hands or whatever, he's got to visualize stuff. Yeah, I mean, 100%. I feel the same way. I've said it since December. I took a lot of heat in the beginning that, oh, you're saying a guy who probably has nothing to do with it, and but he does, and possibly. I mean, let's go there. Why won't Carter say that the families have nothing to do with this and that they didn't murder the girls? Seems cruel to families. Okay, at this juncture, you're 5.5 plus years later. What is the gain of law enforcement coming out and just saying that? I mean, I know at one point they did say, most of the family are covered, cleared, whatever the way they put it. So does that mean that there was one person left that they didn't have a full alibi on? That could be possible. I'm telling you, I know there's channels out there that are riding the family wagon, and most of those people might have some issues. And I'm not just talking about like issues with putting people out there. Like, they probably have some issues going on up here that they can't understand, that if the family was somehow involved, they would have been locked up in the first year. They would have had them dead to rights, because you're interviewing them over and over again. You're going to them with info that you gained to pass some stuff across. There's going to be a slip up, because each time you're with them, their guard is going to come down and come down and come down. And there will be a slip up that they didn't mean to say. So anybody out there, I know there's multiple channels that are out there riding people are even riding the Ron Logan wagon. Oh, it's Ron Logan. They just can't accept that they were wrong. If one day I end up being wrong, that it's not either Keegan and TK together, one of them sold, whatever, I'll have no problem. I was wrong. It happens. I don't feel I'm wrong. The everything that's been coming since December, 2021 has been pointing me that I'm right on target. But at the same time, you have to stop the bullshit. Let's talk about the family and what they're going through. Okay, you, you're trying to they're trying to grieve, but also heal and get to the next level of healing. They can't do that until people are arrested, and until justice gets served. So on top of that, you have all these assholes that are coming on YouTube, and then you have a couple thousand people, however many followers that are like, oh yeah, it's the family. Get the hell out of here. But that's how sick people are. And then when somebody says something that they're sick individuals, they go on attack and they're in the comments. Come at me. I could care less. I have very thick skin. You have issues, leave the family alone. It's disturbing. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I get it, but I don't think it helps the case right now. I'm sure the family knows, I'm sure Carter has told them, we're here for you guys. I don't believe any of them are suspects. The whole, oh, they painted the room. Oh, could you believe 5.5 years later they cleaned out her room? Do you know how hard that was for Becky Patty to clean her granddaughter, really her child's room out? And these assholes are dissecting that like, oh, could you believe it? Come on, give me a break. That's insanity. It's just insanity. It's terrible. So sad. So sad. Sloopy, I just think I think that there's just more to it. I think that they want everything. And if that's why I keep saying, what shows them that possibly a video or pictures were taken. Something had to show that. You're not just going to put in that affidavit on Ron Logan's search warrant that you're searching for digital storage devices, computers, and going down the line. There's a reason they feel that. The way it was staged, but also, was there a tripod, marking in the ground? That's my opinion. I don't know that for a fact, but I think something showed them at the crime scene that there was possibly video taken. Yeah, I mean, let's stop the bullshit. It's terrible. It's disgusting. And honestly, these people that are doing it, they have problems because they need to, like, oh, these people love hearing me. Like, that's how sick people are. It's disturbing. Go away. And the people that listen to them, you're feeding these people's insanity. Let's be real. You're feeding their insanity. It's disturbing. Go away. Hey, hybrid. Hope you're doing well. Zuder, listen. I mean, because it's infuriating because I've been across the table. I've hugged family members that lost, even somebody that they lost in a vehicle accident. Like this is they're still living the next day. This is still the 14th of February. They haven't moved to the next step of grieving. And then you have all these assholes that are writing them on Facebook. Oh yeah, you think Kelsey did it? Like what? You're asking like the grandmother. You think? I mean, it's just disturbing. Go away with the insanity. It's just nuts. Overcomer. There's a lot. There's a lot. I mean, if you're paying attention to the local news, there you got people getting locked up over and over again. I mean, as I see. When I heard Dropbox, that was the same time I said it. A crime scene. I see you, man. That was when I said it instantly. That Dropbox. This is Pandora's box. What this Dropbox is going to open is insane, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing month after month, 4, 5, 6 creeps getting locked up. Let them keep arresting all these dirtbags. Because honestly, what are they doing in life? They're hunting our children. There you are, man. Oh, glad you got away. Yeah, get in contact with me. No problem. My WhatsApp, I believe, is working again. So either send me a message or email. We'll get together because I owe you coming on your live. And everybody, I don't know if you're interested in any other cases, crime scene to courtroom. Mention the case down below. He has some awesome videos on a case that happened in the UK. Very interesting. And I'm going to do some analysis for him. Hybrid, 100%. the viewers don't understand when they're in there. Oh, so and so talk bad about you in their comments. They're fueling the insanity. You're seeing it. There's paranoia going on. It's just, let's be real. It's insanity. Had to be more. TK and or KK in a red Jeep should have been wrapped up 5 years ago if it were that simple. I agree. I agree. There is more. There definitely is more. There's a lot more. And I feel we're close. I felt it was going to be by the end of June, and I was wrong. But I really had a feeling it was going to be then. But I do think it's coming. I do think it's coming. I think we're close. Susan, I'm so sorry for that. Yeah, and that's the whole thing, is that they're picking on the way the family says things and speaks. You know how hard it is. I mean, you know how hard it is for them to go on the news and talk about the loss. Oh, look, they're suspect. Look at how they're saying this, and it's just disturbing. They're just picking apart things that are just, they need to just go away and get a life. But having all these people that the hoorah behind them, that's what fuels it. That's the fuel that keeps them going. Some of these people are so upset this client comes out because they think it's their POI. Angel Bear, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you got to go where the evidence is leading, and I jumped out instantly after I saw his stuff. Right, it was like a day after, 2 days after Anthony Shots stuff came out. I think that was like what, December 7th or 8th. It was like around the 9th or 10th. I was on Sleuth's Live, and it just what I saw. And then once I saw the rap sheet, I'm like, ooh, wow, and then you hear a little more pieces. It just there were a lot of POIs to me that could have fit before December 2021. That all changed instantly, and that's just that. And I can understand why some can't let go of the POI. It's just not what they did for their career. But this is what I did, and I just know what I'm looking for. Well, grunge, that's, listen, I don't wish bad on anybody, and I hope that Anthony Greeno can, right his wrongs and make them right in time. That's all I could say. I mean, I'm not here to bash anybody. I know he had a lot of issues and he hurt a lot of people, and he's got a lot of making up to do in life. And I hopefully he does that. Hopefully he becomes a better person. I mean, that's all I could say about that. I wish people the best in life. Being in jail is not fun. It is not easy. And let's just hope that that he turns his life around and just fixes all the people he hurt, because the stuff that's out there, he hurt a lot of people. He did. He it's just a very sad thing. It really is. Phil, I don't believe that's true. I think that's the biggest problem. I really feel that they did. Let's think of it this way, right? Yes, Doug Carter is the voice of this case. That's what he is. But that's what he is. The Carroll County Task Force, Tobe Lesenby, he's pretty much the oversee day-to-day guy, along with the detectives and whatnot. When you have the FBI in your ear over and over again, and once Ron Logan's alibi went bust, that's where the focus went. And I'm hoping it wasn't, but I feel that 26 months of investigating, were lost. Once whatever time frame that was that the alibi busted, from there to 2019, when they came out with the new direction and whatnot, that's just my opinion that that's what it did. Oh, the Dropbox, Pandora's box, 100%. That's just what it is. It's just the amount of access that they had, and I'm hoping that they're able to see who signs into it, because Keegan probably sold it. He sold, and the whole thing with Dropbox is you can make individual folders with one image, two images, depending on what these people were paying for or whatnot. It could go very deep. It could go very deep. And there it is. Crime scene to courtroom. I just lost train of thought. the Exodus Boys case in the UK from I believe it's the 90s. I don't want to be off, or early 2000s. I'm just my head's in the clouds thinking of Ron Logan right now. But he did some awesome videos on it, and I'm going to go on a live with him going over some of the crime scene reports when he sends them to me. Overcomer, 100%. I mean, listen, there's evil, there's evil people in every profession. You never know, you never know where something's going to lead to, and wherever it's leading, they will they will be getting locked up. There's no cop in this world that wants a cover for a disgusting human being. Yes, 100%, 100% for Susan. Losing a child is oof, very hard, man. It's not easy. Susan, you're an amazing person. You keep going. You keep going for your child. Well, think about it. I don't know if you're trying to push harder on the family thing. I don't really know. I hope you're not. There was no warning to the public. Remember what he said. Okay, first of all, you had Tobe Lesenby, who was absolutely traumatized at that opening presser. He was traumatized. He barely could speak. He just saw two children murdered. I'm sure the Delphi chief was there on scene also and saw it. I don't think Riley was there yet and saw it, but these guys were frazzled. You could see it in their reactions during the first presser. What did he say? Let the parents make that decision. I mean, was it the right thing to say? No. But at the same time, they didn't feel that there was a double murderer still running around the woods by Delphi. Not the right thing to say, but I don't believe it. I don't believe they said it, for any other reason than just basically saying, protect your children. Pay attention to what your children, where your children are. Police in the vehicle, they're looking for a driver up, so they know red Jeep or not. Yeah, I mean, that could be possible. Do I think that the red Jeep was at the building? I don't. But that's why I keep saying, I feel it's 2 to 5, 2 to 5 perps involved, and that doesn't mean that that all 5 of them had to be at the crime scene. Could have just helped with planning, helped with getting stuff, helped with getting out of there. There's many roles that could have been taken. I just see it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%. I know exactly what you're saying. Jan Kendall, yeah. Oh, yeah. I got stumped there for a second. Yeah, I said it over and over again, Why did they go to Vegas? Who lived in Vegas? Jan Kendall. I dug very deep into that man and came up with a lot of stuff out in Vegas with him and just, family connections and whatnot, I mean, listen, he passed away. I hate to talk negative light about anybody. I just, there's just things that show he might have been into the same kind of stuff that TK is. Joanne, I went over this, and I know it's okay. I know a lot of people didn't hear me. Okay, Carroll County is where the devices went, and everything with the first search warrant at TK's house related to Keegan. They ran the devices. They, listen, a huge mistake happened, but they never forwarded what was on the devices to Miami County Prosecutor's Office for him to be prosecuted. I just feel it was a mistake sending over all the information, and that's what cost them all that time. I don't think it was done intentionally, and that's why ISP put out that whole thing at how it was a mistake. Nobody did it intentional. Blah blah blah. But at the same time, it should have been put out there, definitely. If there wasn't more, it would be wrapped up by now. There's more. How many times the car says, yeah, well, I'm sure it is complicated. And this is a dual case now. You're dealing with he's being pressed for, in relation to the double murder, but also with everything else that's, exploding with his, with all his information on his devices and who had access and whatnot. So yeah, it definitely is complicated. Doing investigations, look at victim's phone, speak to girls' friends, found out who they're communicating with. Yeah, 100%. You know, something happened that was missed, and it could be that, you know, was all the conversations deleted. You know, where they deleted. But then you think about, well, how did Kelsey reached out to him that night? Maybe he somehow got access and deleted a majority of the convo, and only in there was maybe a hi or something, you know, something small. But yeah, I agree. There is something, we're missing something. We just don't know what it is because they're not giving it to us. I mean, that's just what what it is. 100%. It's just, these people are just twisted, Corgi. They're twisted. They just, you know, you gotta remember something. People thrive off other people's pain. So for them to be, you know, stoked, oh yeah, yeah, this is who, she's guilty. Yeah, they're just fucked up individuals. Sorry to that's just what it is. And they're thriving off knowing they're hurting somebody. That's how disturbing they are. They need to just go find a new case to dive into. Oh, Phil, 100%. There's nothing else to say. You know, they have what they have. They know what they need. My opinion, I've said that. I've said this for. I think I even said this before the Anthony Shots information came out. They have enough. There's nothing else they need from the public. They have what they have. They just need to finish. There's one piece that they need, but the public can't help. So there's no reason to say anything. There's no reason to say anything if the public can't help. As one of Libby's friends knew she was meeting Anthony Shots. Yeah, no, well, yeah, you're talking about the other female, yeah, and that, listen, that's also why I feel the masked man happened on the a week after, on the 20th, and that's, you know, right after that happened, you had they had the cops showing up at that house, and they bounced out to Vegas. So were they looking to get that girl's device? That's possible. You know, were they looking to hurt that girl? It could have been, but I feel it was more they were trying to lure her outside to maybe get her phone. You know, maybe get, you know, maybe they know what was, you know, what attached them to attach them to her and to Libby. So doing that could have worked. Hey B, how are you? We should have been on every move. Well, Susan, think about it. After we don't know what happened as soon as you were arrested for over a year until it was announced in December. But I'm sure a very close eye has been kept on him. You know, think about everything that's going on when they meet, when TK goes to see Keegan in prison. You know, it's all recorded and stuff. So there's no conversation going on that they're going to gain unless those two were stupid. You know. But yeah, I mean, listen, he had his, you know, I think he had what, toes amputated, and I said it way back before what's his name stuff came out, before Anthony Shots came out, that is this person missing a toe? Talking about BG walking on a bridge because of just the way the foot goes, because your big toe really is huge at the way you walk, and not having a big toe could make your foot go in and really have a problem. Hmm. I don't think we would know if this was filmed and it's out there on the dark web. I don't think we would know, you know. Only the, you know, the ones that are on there would know. You know, the dark web goes very deep. It's a culture that we just, none, you know, normal people just don't understand. It's a really creepy thing. It really is some scary shit, to be honest. This Carmen says the community will be shocked. Well, just think of TK. I mean, worked, you know, he's been in Peru for years. Family's been there for years. You know, I'm sure his parents were well respected people in Peru. So, I mean, yeah, I think anybody that isn't a serial killer committing these murders are going to shock the community. You know, I don't think it was a 17-year-old kid that did this. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, it's got to, you know, saying that it's got to be I just, you know, Carter says things sometimes that could be said about, could relate to many different things. That it's hard to overanalyze them. It really is. Yeah, 100%, 100%. And they're and just what they have to fight off from the assholes that are on YouTube that are bashing them. It's uncalled for. It shouldn't happen. But what are you gonna do? Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah, that could be true. But there's several people involved. Yeah, that something could have been said. They could have, you never know. Did Libby? And I hate to give hypotheticals, but this case you have to, because it just there's things that could have triggered, a murder being planned. Did she send a picture over or a video and said, like, oh, and then realize that she wasn't talking to, the Anthony Shots, the model kid. Maybe she knew maybe she knew that it was somebody from Peru. Maybe something leaned to it, and it just progressed into, she's got to go. And there's quite a few of them. There's quite a few of them. There's quite a few disturbing people out there. May also be that other law enforcement has gotten involved from all over, and so the case now it's about the big dogs. Well, I do think that they're treating both cases separately. So when they have enough, they're getting locked. Who committed these murders will be arrested. I don't believe the Anthony Shot stuff will hold that up. That'll still go on its own. She was meeting Anthony Shots, right? Yeah, he had the Anthony Shot because the threatening message about slicing the throat came from Anthony Shots. It came from the Anthony Shots account. ISP County Feds, but has one. Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. And I truly feel that they were told, listen, this is Ron Logan, his alibi busted, the time frame, blah 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 blah. That made them really look at Ron Logan, and it just, to me, it was a waste of a lot of time. Yeah, he could have been watched from 2017, but once Ron's alibi busted, they were aiming that way. Thank you. Why would they risk so much to get friend's phone? Maybe they might not have seen Libby's phone at the crime scene, right? It was in close proximity, but it wasn't right there. We just don't know how. Listen, she was smart to record them. We just don't know if she tossed it. You had leaves on the ground. I think I give the credit to Libby. I really do. That's true, Cal. Never under big toe. You're talking about, have a lot of issues when you're walking without a big toe. And I believe his big toe was taken first. And then now the foot, part of his foot was cut off. Not. I mean, listen, with the dark web, not everybody, is not every law enforcement is involved in the dark web. It's just, you got to understand, it's not like going on Google and searching something. You got to know your way around there, and the whole thing is you're making contacts with somebody else. The whole thing is that you got the serious dirtbag that's in the dark web that's going to get you what you want. It's not like you're going to Google it on the dark web's Google and just find it. So I just think if it's there, it's the only way it's shown is to whoever they want to see it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, your toes really, without a big toe, your foot can indent and just have an overall, weird walking posture. Mindy, they can't handle that it's going to be somebody else that they didn't have as their POI. So they have to go against the grain. People still going with Ron Logan. It just doesn't make sense. It's a waste of time. Why even pay attention to them? Sorry, but why pay attention to them? because they're wasting time. They're wasting your time. It is not Ron Logan. And the only reason I did the Red Talk about Ron Logan was to show people that sometimes you're not paying attention as law enforcement, and you're getting tunnel vision, and you're aiming in the wrong place. And that's exactly what happened. So anybody that's still, if they're putting videos out that is wrong, why waste your time? Let's be honest. Exactly. And not even that, it's that even being on the dark web, it's not like you're just going to find it, you know? Yeah, it's possible it could be 16 and 10. I just don't see it. I don't see it. You know where I'm aiming. That's where I'm aiming. Interesting. Maybe you should email me, digital analysis of a crime at gmail.com. Would love to hear it. Agreed. Carter's words are overanalyzed sometimes. Yeah. And got to remember something. He's an animated character. It's just, when the cameras are on, the lights are on, he becomes animated, and sometimes things are taken out of context. I do think he has a lot of knowledge and a lot of info. Not info, a lot of knowledge, and he's trying to give you something, but sometimes the things he's giving you can make people take it the wrong way and go elsewhere with it. So, you just can't read too far into him. Again, and I know, no, I don't think it has anything to do with him. I don't think it has anything to do with him being a minister. I just think the shack, religious, it was able to let him open and go into, there's also a book about good, evil. I forget the exact. I have a video of it, I believe. I just believe that was his opening to get into about the Bible and about doing the right thing. I don't believe there was any shack involved. When you read Ron Logan's search warrant, the blood loss that was at the crime scene, that's where they were killed. They were murdered right there. They were moved a couple feet to complete the staging, to make it look like something else, possibly to take a picture. We don't know, but I do not believe there was a shack or a barn involved. Not at all. I don't think it's uncommon, but also let's say I don't believe that Keegan did he want to be a participant? Remember the fight that went on with the devices, who signed in and who signed out of Snapchat. Somebody wanted control over the conversation. So Keegan, I'm sure he loves Daddy, but he was scared of Daddy. And what Daddy said inside that house went, and that's it. Oh yeah, I'm telling you, that's why it said, and I know it's a very small sample of him walking on the bridge, but look at his foot. Look at how the leg swings over. And then there's people that said, oh, look, it's got to be Ron Logan. Ron Logan's walking, his walking posture is totally the opposite. Goes totally the other way. It's just not even the same realm. But that's how sick people are. They want to keep things going because, the clients just don't fit with what they want. And they're combating, oh yeah, Murder Sheet doesn't know this, or, whatever it is. It's just, if somebody's trying to steer you, why? The whole problem is, if you're going to listen to them, they're going to keep going with it. If you're going to hoorah them in their chat, they're going to keep going with it. So that's up to you. Again, I'm not here to say who to listen to, who to watch, and whatever else. But at the same time, just think about, you fuel them by giving them a voice. Yeah, that's totally fine that family members kill family. It's not in this case. Why would Libby record if she saw, if she saw her it doesn't even matter if the person had a mask on. Your family member, your brother, your sister, your mother, your father. If they're walking walking at you with a mask on, their body. You just know their posture. You know everything. So it just doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. Sorry, it doesn't fit. No, I don't think Ellie was running the AS account. I just totally think that the FBI said it within 20. It was less than 24 hours after doing the Keegan client search warrant, and they came out and said, "Oh no, this has nothing to do with the Delphi case." because they were onto Ron Logan. They probably didn't want to be there. And look at where we are today. What's the spring? I got to look into this because I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what's going on there, but I will take a look. I just don't know much about it. Yeah, I don't believe it either. Phil, you got to email me, analysisofAcrime@gmail.com. I'd love to hear what you got, man. And listen, anybody who ever emails me, a lot of people have emailed me in the last year. No, and anybody who has, if they want to or not, I don't say anything. You're emailing me. It's confidential. Your name would never get out there. It is just it's totally confidential. He does look like a gremlin. What bothered me about the whole thing was how Keegan was so excited to have that picture with his big fat belly sticking out. Like he had like a belly shirt on because his gut is too fat. Like that, I don't know. Just that whole thing is just a little strange. But yeah, totally, he is a gremlin. He's this disgusting individual. I'd like a live picture of him though, just to see what he looks like right now, because I know he is suffering the hair loss and everything else. You know, it's all catching up to him. I mean, yeah, it could be. It could be. I just think Doug's he's just an animated guy. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. That they supposedly showed it March 2017. They showed the film there, but at the end of the day, I mean, I just feel it led into the Bible. You know, he had a conversation. He's had a conversation before with Kelsey about the movie and whatnot. Doug Carter's a spiritual guy. He's a man of faith. That's just the way it is in Indiana. He's very big into his faith. So I don't think I just don't look too far into it. Hey Jen, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, he's not the murderer. John, let's be real. I mean, why are we still talking Ron Logan as the murderer though? Right? It just doesn't make sense. He didn't do it. They put him in prison for violating his probation. They went hard at him. They couldn't. They're You read the affidavit for the search warrant. It's basically they could copy and paste that into an arrest warrant and have arrested him for the murders. They didn't because it just didn't fit. There wasn't enough there. He's not the murderer. They had tunnel vision. They felt he was, but he's not. It wasn't him. Yes, I mean, if you think about it logically, if you're 30, 40, 50 feet away from a family member and they have a hood on, you still know your family member. You know who it is. It's just the way it is. It's not. It's just it's our eyes. We have amazing eyes. We're able to see. We're able to. Oh look, that's my. Why is my sister here? She's filming. There's a video, 43 seconds. Why is my sister here? You never hear that because it's not a family member. She knew something was wrong. The kid in the picture of Anthony Shots was supposed to meet her, and that's not who showed up. There was this, grizzly looking, gremlin-y person coming at her, and fear kicked in. So she videoed. Um, I don't think so. Only because it looks like they were all on Keegan's devices. So unless Keegan said my dad did this and they had enough, I don't think there's just a reason to try and tie him to that right now. I think they're trying to they're working to get all their loose ends tied together and for the big arrest. Yes. Yeah. 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 The father was like abusive drinker, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. No, you could be right. Oh, yeah. Listen, my dad just turned 81 and he had a horrible fall, ended up in the ICU on a ventilator. Thank God he's doing well. He's off. There's almost a month. It was a month from hell, and that's part of the my absence why I wasn't around much. But even at 81 years old, my dad gets around, and if you looked at him, you'd say, "Oh, that guy's about 70 years old," but he still is in pretty good shape for 81 years old. It's a different generation. That generation, the generation of hard workers. My dad busted his ass for 40 years in his career and outside every day, and he's still doing stuff daily at 81. And I think that helps them stay much more mobile and keeps them young in a sense. He does live in a fantasy. His life, Keegan's life, has been a lie for at least 10 to 12 years. I just don't see him saying, "Hey, thanks for that picture. It's amazing with this big ass gut hanging out." I just, that's just the part that's kind of very weird. TK's phone was never said about, but just remember the sign in, sign out, sign in, sign out, two devices on 213. That, to me, that was to gain control over who had the control over the convo with Libby. Yeah, it's true. Jen, you got to think about it. It's not that they're chasing him; they're chasing the excitement of talking to a guy who could be attached to a double murder. That's just disturbing when you think about it, but that's the truth. You know, they want to say that. Oh, he talked to me. Oh, yeah, wow. He'll talk to anybody. Send him a picture. He'll say he's your boyfriend. I mean, who wants that? Guy's just, he's just gross. Time's catching up to him. On the tracks and trails are there. Yeah, I also think that he implicated himself in a way. He kind of put himself into the position that, could he have been there that day? I mean, we know he was there the day before. I don't believe. I mean, if you look at BG, that guy is a lot smaller than BG. He's skinny as a rail. To me, he's quick moving. It's just, to me, he has nothing to do with it. That's just my opinion. But Sleuth did the right thing by interviewing him because he put himself, talking to him, he was putting himself at the bridge that day that maybe he even saw the girls on the trail. So you can't fault Sleuth for doing that. I told him that when it happened. I know people gave him shit for it, but the guy was putting himself on the bridge that day. So he did nothing wrong. Oh, yeah, no, John, all good. I got you. It was my mistake on the first one. All good. All good. All right. Anybody have anything else? Because I got 5 minutes till my kids get off the bus and come running in here like lunatics. It was great talking to everybody, though. I got a couple more minutes, but tomorrow I'm going to actually try and do the Red Talk. Hopefully everybody's around. I'm trying to think, maybe around 12:30 Eastern, but I will put it on the Reddit, the Delphi Docs Reddit. Let me put it here. Delphi Docs subreddit, Red Talk Live, and then I also will post it. I also will post it here afterwards. But it's cool if you want tomorrow on the sub at 12:30 Eastern. Yeah, if you want to, it's actually cool because it's like your little avatar can raise their hand and ask a question, and then I call on you. It's just interactive. It's cool. It's a Q&A. It's interactive. It's a pretty cool way of doing things. Thank you, Elaine. My whole thing is me being here has to benefit everybody somehow, and it's just being logical and giving you a true law enforcement perspective. There's no other reason. I mean, you got to hear what the truth is. There's no reason to sugarcoat what these assholes are doing to the family. Oh God. Someone wants to make believe they're Greeno. All right. Thanks, Never Silent. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Hey, wait, let's see. Wait, how do I do that? Hold on, Never Silent. Let's see something here. Hold on. There. You got your wrench, Never Silent. You just got crowned your wrench. Let's see here. Yeah, digital's true, right? They want to date somebody famous, and it's just so disturbing to even think about that. They're like, oh, look at it's him. Oh, it's him. Oh boy, who would want to talk to that beast? Let's be real. This gross individual. Who wants to waste their time with him? But they do. That's the sick part. That's the actual sick part. All right, let's just go through the last comments here. Thanks, Susan. I appreciate it. You're welcome. Thank you, Jen. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. And I really am going to work on doing more lives. I know, digital. I'm trying to be around more. It's just I'm coaching, which is coaching 2 different teams, which gets crazy. Just busy, and I have a 2-year-old. The little man just turned 2, so got one turned 11, a 7-year-old, and a 2-year-old. So just things get wild sometimes. Rockways, I'm going to try. I am. Listen, I would enjoy doing a live daily, but it's just hard. I'm going to try and do more though, and I will give a further heads up than only like what 10. What I give 10 minutes today, and still had a nice crowd with the 10-minute with a 10-minute notice. We still had a pretty good crowd, which is great. 10 minutes. All right. 2-year-olds are. Oh, he is busy. He is busy. Yeah, that he is. He is so cute. He has me. Oof. He's my little buddy, man. He is. He's like my little clone. He looks like just like his mother, but he's still my little clone. The other 2 look like me. But it's just an amazing age. It really is. It's just it's so cute. It really is so cute. Yes, 100%. Everybody has to keep their kids close because there's too many disturbing animals out there, and this case, that's what drew me to this case so much as it was from the beginning. Just to think of what those girls went through in those woods, and what the families have gone through for 5.5 years, and then you have these disturbing assholes on YouTube blaming the family, and just nonsense. They need to just go away. But the best thing I can tell you guys is, listen, it's not for me to tell you who to watch, but stop watching people who are here for the wrong reasons. If you give them a voice, they take it. That's just the way it is. Thanks, Jessica. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's true. It's true. If you see my smile, I smile thinking about my kids. I smile thinking about my little guy because he is so funny. Because he's not your average 2-year-old because he has older siblings. So it's just some of the things he does. They just make you crack up because it's funny. Was there any relevance in wife saying she threw the phone in the water? Help me here, Lisa. Who threw the phone in the water? I might have missed something up above. I'm not sure. No, it is. It's so true. It is. He's so funny. He's like a little. He's just got such he's a comedian. Yeah, I'll give you my email address. Analysis of a crime at Gmail. I won't put the .com because sometimes they take that away. Thanks, dude. Well, hey, listen, I'm just being honest. It's just, he's so funny. He's a funny kid. He learns from the older ones. So it's just like He's kind of like a 2.5, 3-year-old in a 2-year-old's body, and it just makes you crack up. I don't know. It's possible. She could be. I don't know. She could be talking about Lilith. All right, I got to go because my kids, I got to track your kids. Just got the notification. They're on their way. The bus is in motion. So thank you all. I appreciate every one of you, and we'll do this again. Maybe, listen, tomorrow I have a lot of time tomorrow, so maybe we'll do a Red Talk and a live again. So we'll see. If you all want it live, let me know, and I'll do another one. 60-second countdown. Just like GK tried to insert himself, now it's wife, and they're sick. You're welcome, Zooter. I appreciate all of you. Yeah, I know you want to live, never saw. Yeah, we'll try and maybe we'll do a live first, and then if I have time, I'll do the Red Talk. I mean, the Red Talk I can do anytime. I can do it on a the lives are fun though. They're very fun. I gotta do this more often. It's just got to make the time. Thank you, everybody. Now it's time to soccer practice and religion and stuff. One going to religion, the other one going to soccer. So got to get with life. Thanks again. I'll see everybody soon. See you tomorrow.